Hello one, hello all, it is the gothiest ghost of them all, Caspa in the flesh, and it's time for a review of Ashenspire-Hostile architecture. Ashenspire is a UK black metal band, and this is their second studio album. Their first one pretty much flew beyond my radar. I did not know of it. I did not know about this band until this year. So, yeah. And let me tell you, awesome discovery. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know that I am a metal fan. Well, we love metal over here, but what type of metal do we love? That's right. Black metal, thrash, death metal, and we do love the classics too, the classic heavy metal stuff. But when it comes to the modern stuff, we like it chaotic, we like it dirty, and we just love the endless destruction within metal. And this album does definitely portray destruction of a different kind. This one of more of a very real and catastrophic kind. And it's done in such a way that's like so moving, so riveting, and something that needs to be addressed. And also the vocals threw me for a loop. I did not expect them to be the way they are. Like normally with like black metal, it's like you get like the wretched vocals, like you get that. But on this, you do not get that. And that's fine, because I love the vocals on here. Like they sound like the unhinged ranting of a over the edge, on the edge human being on like the brink of insanity. And the thing is, this is one of those cases where like, okay, he sounds crazy, but he's not crazy. And I mean crazy as in like he sounds crazy in his performance, but what he's saying is not crazy at all. He's basically addressing the very, very surreal effects of capitalism, and just talking about the beyond impoverished, like far from livable situations that people are facing due to that. And man, as far as like influences go, if you know who Black Midi is, you should know who Black Midi is if you've been watching the channel. If you know who Black Country New Road is, then you would picture, as I would picture, that Black Midi, Black Country New Road got together and they're like, hey, let's form a black metal band. Avant black metal band. After realizing how catastrophic capitalism is. And they nail it here. Like, talking about people working their fingers to the bone so they can have money just to eat, just to barely get by, and also the dismal visions of the future, fear of heredity, of the inherence of misogyny, which is an issue of the vocalist here. But still, like, he's just letting it all out. He's letting all his emotions on the societal ills out, be it the conditions of society and the system, or be it of himself. So you're getting it all here. And the law of Asbestos, like, man, about like the instrumentation, it's insane. I love it. I love the weeping strings, the drunken jazz horns, blaring syncopated guitar riffs with these speedy kick drums and dizzying instrumentation on the back end while these droning guitars just build up, and I love it. Beton, Brut, I'm sorry, if you haven't watched the channel, I'm terrible at pronunciation, so bear with me. But it has like this wall of distorted guitar arpeggios, and I love how they like harmonize with the violin strings, and these linear horns just creeping up with these onslaught of like blast beats, bring me to like this pit of dissonant guitars. And I love the way the bass has like a lot of presence here. And Persephone Praxis, like, I love the instrumentation here, how it intensifies as the track progresses. There's a lot of bass, and I love the tragic poetic lyrics. If I didn't say that before, I feel like that's really a standout moment here, aside from the great playing and the inclusions of horns and strings, because that's what you do with avant-garde music. You throw in the obscurity that you normally wouldn't onto a genre of metal, if we're talking avant metal here. And you just mix it up, and it is mixed up here, but also the, like I said, poetic lyrics are definitely captivating to me. And just his performance too, like, I'm not necessarily a fan of like clean vocals when it comes to metal, but it's done so well here, so well. Like, there are moments on here where he sounds like Nick Cave from Her to Eternity era, with like the bellowing, anguished vocals on the track. How the mighty have vision. I mean, it's a cool down moment, I guess, in terms of like sonic tone, but in terms of the message, no. No, there was no cool down moments here. It's just very, very unsettling all the way through. And like, as I said, with the lyrics, like these bars here, like, we're each kept in the dark as the black begging begins, kicked out on the streets for their sins. I won't be dragging my feet anymore, then they're dragged in the mud. Hand riddled with wages, fist dripping with blood. Like, the lyrics are like so deep and cutting to the situation here. Just, and another thing I love too, is just like the correlation of the instrumentation with what's being said. So it's like hard hitting, not only lyrically, but also sonically too. And I fuck with that. But as I was alluding to with how the mighty have vision, it also has gorgeous choral passage at the beginning too. And it just really complements the album well. And also we get a really super visceral cut with these riveting guitar strings, riveting violin strings, I'm sorry, and revving guitars, dissonant guitars, and blast beats at the end to cap it off nicely at the end of Tragic Heroin. Now, I do have some gripes, if I'm being honest. As much as I do love a good instrumental track, I feel like the riffs here aren't exactly as climactic as I'd like them to be, given the situation of the narrative that this album is going for. Like, I expected something a lot more intense, a lot more powerful, but instead we just got, like, mid-metalcore, not at its finest, unfortunately. Like, not, I wouldn't even say metalcore. This kind of sounds like, do you guys remember that ending to, it was like an ending to an Offspring song, and it was when they were going more in commercial direction. That's pretty much what it sounds like. And it just doesn't complement the album that well. Now, Cable Street again. This is a monster of a closer right here. A monster in terms of how the song is structured, and a monster in terms of sonic quality, and a monster in terms of the lyrics too. Because this is basically where he's expressing the harrowing condition of capitalism, but now it's evolved into fascism, and now their back is against the wall, and there's no time to negotiate. It's just fight back, because negotiation is futile. And the playing is absolutely chaotic, and the somber passages and spoken word pieces, somber horns, just weeping spoken word passages with these very harrowing lyrics, and the all-out epic finish at the end where the sax just sounds amazing along these distorted guitar riffs. Like, it's just very, very intense. It's unforgettable. And yeah, so overall, I love this album. I think it's fantastic. I think that if you are into metal, give this a try. If you're not into like metal that's more outside of the norm, you may not enjoy it. But if you're into something that you want to expand your musical palette, this is the album for you. Look no further than this. And this may very well be my metal album of the year. And it just came to me. And I'm happy with it. I'm not happy with the reality of the lyrics. I'm not happy with that at all. But I do find enjoyment in this album from a moved sense, a very tangible sense. And I'm feeling a 4.5 out of 5 on this album. If you've checked this out, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And that's it. Ashenspire, Casbah, the Gothic Ghost. Till we meet again.